Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today's video is going to be coming out a little bit later, hanging out with the family. You know, it's Saturday and stuff. Plus, not at the office, at the house, but it is all good. Listen, I just want to do a quick update on our coins and, just a few things that I've noticed and things that I think will happen and just important factors that we have to talk about and a little bit of mindset. So this is going to be a general video. I'm going to dive into Turbo right away because something I noticed with Turbo, and I believe an important thing with Turbo is we see how this was arranged for a while. I believe we are pretty much here compared to the previous times. We can see we had a top and not necessarily a double top or even higher, but we did have, one last relevant high before we dipped down, and we can see we're kind of getting the same thing. So I believe we are currently at this stage, right? This right here swept the last liquidity pretty much. We can see went right under it, right? Went right under this last relevant low. And after that, we just kind of went sideways mainly before we created a higher high, a higher low, and then go up, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if over the next little bit, we kind of do the same thing. I'm not sure if we're going to sweep this bottom over here. It would not surprise me if the market makers did. But, that's where I believe we're at with Turbo at this moment, right? I believe we're somewhere here. And although this did take a couple of days, right? From here to here, it took 40. And by the time we popped was, 69 days. Nice. But I don't think it's going to take as long. I believe everything is going to be getting sped up overall because even from this to here, this took roughly, everything took 137 days. But that was during consolidation. And that was kind of when Bitcoin was kind of going sideways and accumulating, right? And overall, now Bitcoin should be going up, altcoins should be slowly going up, and then altcoin season as we know. So I don't expect it to be 130 days. In the next maximum few weeks to a month, that's when I would expect an explosion. But overall, things should be much, much quicker. And I'm really, really excited for Turbo, right? I'm really excited for Turbo. We already talked about how we pretty much have a trend line kind of going this way. And I believe the next pump is going to be above this, going to be retesting. And I believe that is when we will start getting very, very big pumps. So super exciting for Turbo. Kaspa, it's still looking kind of the same. I do believe we will take out this 10-cent bottom, right? There's just too much liquidity. And, based off what I know from the markets like taking out people because they know leverage traders and a lot of traders just use basic support and resistance. So there's probably a lot of stops over here. So it would not be surprising if it does something like this and quickly starts recovering. Okay. Because at the moment, even though there is a specific type of candle I like trading into, there's nothing too convincing in terms of price action, right? We go on the 4 hour, it's equal highs at the moment. It's not necessarily a higher high. So this can very well fail and go continue lower for Kaspa. Pangolin is looking overall pretty solid. The bias is still the same, pretty much just chilling above, that 35, 36-cent mark. We are currently consolidating, which is fine, which I expect because when we compared it to previous times, Pangolin had a pump, did its thing, went sideways, consolidated before it shot up again. Now, Pangolin, they are, constantly teasing about version 3, but I really want to see more. If they don't announce anything by January, I will believe that's a red flag, but we will talk about that when the time comes. Oh, MYRO, my MYRO, my little MYRO. I do, I feel bad for this coin. I do still have it, of course. I do obviously have more Turbo and other meme coins, but I feel like this coin had so much potential and things can still turn around. But it's just a shame that, the people behind this coin don't support it nearly as much as all the other coins. So it's just kind of getting left in the dumps. I still think at one point this coin will recover, but I think in the worst case scenario ever, it's going to just take out these double tops, right? It might just do something like this, right? But we will see. things can always change. Remember, something's dead until it's not. That is just how it is, especially with community takeovers. So if MYRO has a nice community takeover and things do well, then it obviously can turn around. Pretty much the last relevant liquidity got swept. So we should see everything starting to reverse very, very soon. But this all really depends how this weekly candles close, right? At the current moment, nothing looks too convincing, even on the daily. I do believe there's a nice order block here. I do really like this 4-hour candle, but I'm just going to want to see more and more confirmation, right? That's what I'm really looking at right now because we kind of do have, this trend line over here. And for me, we would have to break above it and kind of start, you know, respecting, which I mean, we slowly are, right? We can see this. We did break above here, and now we're kind of retesting off this. But I am going to want to see some strong momentum. If there's going to be strong momentum, it's going to be a little bit hard to suggest when. It could be still this week, but we know holidays are just around the corner. So things should slow down for a couple of days. But the days in between and in New Year's, things can really, really pick up, ladies and gentlemen. Render, as you know, Render is one of my top dogs. It is pretty much in the last imbalance, right? This is pretty much the last imbalance. You could debate there's a little bit here and maybe a little bit here, but in terms of the last big imbalance, it has taken it out and it is nicely above this area over here. So, if Render were to dip all the way down, it would really surprise me. It would have to be once again a sign of manipulation where we go into specific candles, like potentially this daily order block just for literally a second. But that is not, so certain. And, I don't think that's going to happen just yet. When we look at the overall market, right, we can see we do still have this high, low, lower low. I do want things to start turning around at this point because this is a nice big support and resistance, which is also on top of here, right? And once we kind of do that, I do believe, things should start turning around very, very quickly. And I am overall excited, even with the others dominance, right? We talked about previously how we wanted the others dominance to go above these tops to create a higher high, which is the case. And as long as the overall dominance just kind of closes here or higher, then we are going to have a higher low, right? Here's low number one, and then low number two would be here. And then we would start going up. The next level would be 13.6%. It is still a great time to be buying coins, right? It is still a great time to be buying coins. I think once we start getting past the 14% dominance, like you're really starting to be late, and anything above 17%, you are extremely late. And anything above that is just kind of like, you know, you're making maybe 30, 50%, maybe 2x, depending on the coin. Maybe a quick flip somewhere else if you get lucky in a low market cap coin. But overall, at that point, it's very, very risky. So if you want to buy altcoins, this is pretty much going to be the last time, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you so much. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.